Okay. So let's investigate the area. That's the best way I can think of to find clues for this investigation.
Someone left in a hurry. Knocked the tripod over.
Okay.
Was it for a camera? Someone was drinking beer. They spent time here, waiting.
Alright. So those are the only two clues that we can gather from this area. So, let's go back to our board real quick. How do we access the mine place? It's right D-pad. Or right center pad. Okay. So let's go to the case board. Now that I understand how this works. Okay, it says for later. So I guess I can't put them up until I do some more investigative work. Probably because we don't have the context to which those are applicable. If I had to guess. And that makes sense, I think. Back to the step-by-step progressive process.
Large amount of blood on the table.
Okay.
The victim died here. Multiple people were here. Multiple killers.
Footprints. Okay. Let's see if there's anything else we can investigate. There's got to be more than just that. For a murder scene. Well, it seems like if I go over that way, they're just going to turn me around, so... Where did the footprints head off to? Did the footprints head off to... What direction did they go in? Or are they masked at this point? No, it just seems like they go in a weird circle. Okay. So now let's go back to the mine place board and see if I can do anything. Yes, now I can do stuff. Okay. Multiple sets of footprints and huge blood splatter on the table. Okay. The victim. I think that would go more along with the victim, wouldn't it? Wait, do I have to zoom in closer? What do you mean, Okay, so I guess it applies to this. This really made a mess here. Caught up in the act or just sloppy work? Oh, I see. Okay, once again, context is important. Same thing I had with Master Detective Archive. Multiple sets of footprints. That'd be the killers too, wouldn't it?
Footprints.
Multiple assailants present. Messy scene. Crime of passion. Premeditated. Okay. So that opened up a new question. So maybe... Oh, okay, I see. So we have to get somebody's recounting of what happened, maybe, to trigger our mind to work in a specific way. That's cool. I think I understand what's going on there.
Any idea who the victim is?
Oh, I sure do. His name is Nightingale. He was
Nightingale.
FBI. He came to town about 13 years ago. I haven't heard a word about him since. Well, until now.
Nightingale.
Came to town 13 years ago.
Oh, yes. You probably
So I'm assuming
know
he's an
brothers
author
in
of sorts.
arms. Oh, and sisters.
So the question is, if Nightingale was here, literally, 13 years ago he was here, why is he just being murdered now? Why is this the case now?
So you knew our victim?
Well, I didn't recognize him in his current state. But yeah, I ran into him a few times at Quantico. Never worked any cases together. After his partner got killed in the field, he went off the deep end. Got the boot pretty quick after that.
So he's former FBI.
Nightingale went missing 13 years ago. 2010.
The same as all the other victims.
Certainly fits the pattern.
13
Makes me
years
wonder
ago.
what was going on that year.
Probably something this town wants to forget.
So I'm assuming that has something to do with the narrative that Wake is writing.
So what happened to Nightingale after the Bureau let him go?
I only know the rumors. Depression led to booze, booze led to paranoia. He got some wild ideas.
That's not
in his
true.
head, chased
As an
ghosts,
avid enjoyer of
fucked
whiskey,
out.
I can account that that's
He ended
not
up
true.
Here,
I bet there's more to that story.
but no happy ending.
I was just as fucked up before the whiskey as I am with it. Okay, so let's go back to the mine place again. Maybe now that we have those accountings, maybe we can do some new stuff here. So, Nightingale went off the deep end. FBI fired him. That's going to be relative to the victim. Okay. Thornton. Victim is Robert Nightingale, last seen in Bright Falls 13 years ago. There we go.
Robert Nightingale, ex-FBI, came to Bright Falls 13 years ago.
Okay, so that goes with the booze evidence that we collected with the drinking. So I think it's safe to assume that the beer was his. And the tripod. What would the tripod be relevant to? That's going to be the victim as well, isn't it? Oh, it opened a new question again. I didn't even notice that. Premeditated or spontaneous? Does it apply to this? Yes, it does. Staking out the spot, having a cold one while they waited for our victim? Possibly. I don't think that's it, though. Tripod. Oh, maybe that's the recording of the killing, possibly.
Passing the time with
Yeah, maybe the tripod is the killer's.
They were waiting for him. But why Nightingale? He's been missing for 13
This is a really
years.
cool concept.
Why here?
I like the board
Why
thing.
now?
Like, the whole mental imagery of, like, having a place to pattern this shit out is really cool.
Profiling. Get into the subject's head. See what they saw. Feel what they felt. Use whatever I know about them to guide my intuition to a revelation. Piece it
Okay.
together.
Right. You can use profiling inside Saga's mind place to get inside the heads of suspects and victims. Okay. Using her intuition, Saga can discover new clues by profiling people of interest. That's pretty cool. Let's go with ritual murder.
Nightingale was chosen as the victim. Why?
Flip the switch, it goes click. Lights are off. But somebody's home. Somebody's home.
This wasn't some random act of violence. This was a ritual. And Nightingale a component. They didn't see him as a person. More like a container for something.
Well, I think that's already easily surmisable, given that we knew it was a ritualistic murder when we saw his heart carved out. If it was a simple murder, somebody would have just decked him in the back of the head with something.
Agent Nightingale has been MIA for 13 years. How did he end up here?
So it's seeming to me like the more that we set beside ourselves and put ourselves in this mind space,
It's dark.
the influence maybe gets more creepy or something as we go on. Maybe it's like more affected as the story
Robert
progresses.
Nightingale came from the lake before his murder.
Okay. So that's a clue that we just gathered, I would imagine. So I think we're good on that for now. I think we can leave that and return to the case board. And now we can maybe string together some new info. Maybe we have some new case components that we can work from. There we go. I can feel that Nightingale came from the lake, but why now? After 13 years, where's he been?
Up from the lake that's not a lake.
Not a
It's
lake.
dark. He was there too.
He was there too.
You are not allowed in the lake until he says otherwise.
Okay. Right, so I think it's safe to say that we're done with this for now. Investigate the crime scene. Check the lake shore. That's a good idea. So where's the lake shore on the map? There's the murder site. There's a question mark over here. Point of interest. Can we set waypoints? It doesn't appear that we can. But I'm sure that we can use the maps relative to make our way to different points. I think is what that's implying, pretty much. What is this?
My first ever prank on Casey. A true classic.
Oh, so these are memories manifest in her mind. That's cool. Okay, so what else is there then? That's really neat. I'm loving all this idea depth of visualization of like putting yourself in the place of the character is really cool. I like seeing that kind of stuff a lot.
The lake is connected to Nightingale
okay.
somehow.
So it's just a transitory door.
Casey, let's take a look down by the lake. Lead the
Yes.
Sounds good.
Yeah, let me follow him so I don't get
Right.
lost.
Okay. Well,
Don't
I'll
run,
just,
dude. I need to be able to
I'll
keep
wait
up with you, and I'm gonna be looking for treasures and goodies and secrets and trinkets and good shit like upgrades.
This one of your hunches, Anderson?
Yes.
Something happened at the lake?
I think Nightingale came up from that direction. From the lake. Probably looking for shelter. Safety. They
Oh
were
yeah,
waiting
that's
for
right.
him.
He did emerge from the
You're ready.
lake,
I'd
didn't
love to
he?
hear what you put together so far.
Sure.
But it said
It's
the
not that
lake isn't a
complicated.
lake.
Nightingale was out in the
So
woods
what
alone
if the
one
lake
night.
has something to
Possibly
do with
you.
the ritualistic
The killers knew
sacrifice
he was
that's been
here,
occurring?
ambushed him, dragged
Was
him
he
to a
drawn to
campground,
the lake, or
strapped
did
him
he
to a tree,
come from the
cut his heart
lake?
out. But then they were interrupted by those witnesses.
And if so, why?
The job is unfinished.
That seems pretty complicated to me. What was this guy doing skinny dipping at this time of year?
There's a piece of paper on the ground.
I didn't know trees got that big.
Can I read the piece of paper or not?
You need to get out more. Tracks. Barefoot.
Tracks. Okay,
Nightingales?
so... Yeah, I think it's safe to
They come
assume
out
that
from
these were
under the boulder.
nightingales.
Makes no sense.
I'm sure it does. He emerged from there and the boulder fell after.
A page full of text on one side. Not a printout.
Either that, or
Written
there
with
was
a
some sort of
typewriter.
influence.
Old school. Lines scratched out and edits added with a pen.
Like a manuscript. Page of a story. Killer left a message.
It's for us. The text is about us. The
That guy
victim was
kinda
one of
looks
their
like
own.
Sam Lake a little bit.
FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale. And then there was the page they found. The first step down into terrifying depths.
Reading
Reading the words.
These words felt like a message.
Felt like a message.
Someone knew they were here. Someone playing a game with them. An invitation. How could they not accept?
Even if they knew it would end up hurting them.
That's cool. So Alan is typing the story and they're progressing.
Someone's been watching us.
So this is the dynamic that they were referring to when it swaps between Saga
This
and
is
Alan.
right up my alley.
That's
Nightingale
really
came
cool.
this way.
So as you progress,
Either he dropped
Alan's
this
story
page,
progresses.
or the
So I'm
killer
assuming
left it
that you
for us.
mainly play as Detective Nightingale. Or Detective
I should profile
Anderson.
Nightingale about this page.
Sorry, I misspoke. Slip of the tongue, my bad. So as Alan writes the narrative of this novel, we act it out as the character of the story that he's writing, I think is how this works. Wait, that wasn't collapsed before, was it? Also, do we have access to the map? We do. Okay, so because we have access to the map, let's climb up here really quick. Let's see if the game will allow us.
I think I saw something. It'll only take a minute.
I'll wait here.
Okay, so it's going to allow us to search. This is the place I was at before. But what's here that I didn't find? Why is this still a point of interest? Because I'm pretty sure I read this. Yeah, this is the note about the girl he liked. And this is the lunchbox. So did the point of interest just stay high-lit, even though I've been to them already? I don't know if I like that or not. It'd be nice if I missed something, but I think the point of being drawn to an area is to explore it fully. So to be led back there for nothing is kind of interesting. Okay, so he runs when I run. So does that mean that I'm going to get into combat segments with him at my side, or does that mean that I'm just going to be doing all the combat myself and he's not going to be around?
Hey, you made it back. Good.
Yes, we did.
I
We
hope you
moved
didn't
like
get stuck in
literally
those
40 feet
big
that way.
puddles. Crazy flooding down there, huh? Just like I said.
This guy's kind of weird for an FBI agent. Okay, let's go to the mine place and let's view what our goals are. Figure out what happened to Nightingale. Okay, so we still have to investigate the crime scene, And I'm assuming that we have to go through this entire caseboard to figure out what happened to Nightingale. So I don't know if the whole game revolves around Nightingale's murder alone, or if it means that there are other murders that we have to investigate as well. Because this seems like an awfully big integral mechanic for just one person.
I carry his words close to my chest now. Inside, the awful truth. You must dig it out.
Something was put inside him. In his chest. I must find out
Righty
what.
then. Cool. Cadaver diving, my favorite pastime. Okay, so we've examined that, so I guess when there's a yellow icon, that means there's something new to review. Okay, so Alan narrated this earlier, so I'm not going to worry about reading it.
FBI Special Agent Robert Nightingale, gone missing here 13 years ago. Now he had suddenly turned up, only to be murdered in a brutal ritual on the very day of their arrival. And then there was the page. This page, the first page that they had found, not the last. The first step down into terrifying depths. Secret truths trembling beyond the threshold. Reading the words, these words, felt like a message. Was a message. Someone knew they were here. What they were doing. Someone playing a game with them. Leading them on. An invitation. How could they not accept? The sheer audacity of this impossible mystery presented to them. Even if they knew it would end up hurting them.
Okay. So we've taken a look at the manuscript.
The mile-high strangler case.
Certificate of Meritorious Achievement to Agent Saga Anderson. Okay. So let's take another quick look at the caseboard. So there's something new that we can do here. So this has to do with where the victim came from, I would imagine. Okay, there we go. It tries to force it to an extreme, which is a little weird.
I think he came from the lake. But his tracks make no sense.
Nightingale has something hidden inside of him. There's more going on here than I'm seeing. I need to examine this body properly back in town. Okay. So let's get out of here again really quick.
I think something's been put inside Nightingale's body. Let's tell the deputies to get the body to the town morgue.
Okay.
Okay, so I have to talk to the guy now. Let's get the body back to
Deputy.
town.
I want the body taken back to town for a proper examination ASAP.
Well, sure, but the coroner won't be back in town for another week after Deerfest.
Not a problem. I'll do it myself.
Oh, and Sheriff Breaker called to say he's got the bookers at the Oh Dear Diner in town. Oh, and I've got a key to the gate. It's a
So this must be the key to the
parking lot
gate,
just
the
up the
big
hill.
iron fence that I came across that I wasn't able to progress past earlier. Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
Maybe it doubles as a jet ski key from Resident Evil 4.
Let's get the car, drive to Bright Falls, and talk to these witnesses. The
Okay,
bookers.
key to the shortcut gate.
Diner, right? I could use a cup of coffee.
Uh-oh.
Let's try that shortcut the deputy
Now it's
mentioned.
giving me a heads up display, which means we're gonna get into combat soon, I think. Okay. Cool, this was the right gate. Damn it, I should have
Seems like
rated
a
you.
nice
I
town
didn't
so
know
far.
better. Looking at the follow list tonight. Hey,
Pretty
what's up,
woods.
Meph? It's good to see you, buddy.
Cute lodge we got set
Don't
up
worry
in.
about it, man. I appreciate the
We
thought.
should go for a hike if we
It's
get
very
a
kind of
chance.
you to think of me.
Now you're just being mean, Anderson.
Deputies
We are
aren't
playing Alan
exactly
Wake
up to the
2.
task, but
So
hopefully
this
the sheriff will be more
literally
helpful.
just
Not a
released.
surprise about the deputies.
It has been one of my most anticipated games of the year. So, right now I'm smack dab in the middle of Master Detective Archive Raincode, and that's proving to also be fucking amazing. And this is Alan Wake 2, and they are drastically different games, but they share similar elements, so I figured it'd be a good time to bring this to the fold as well.
There's another lunchbox.
Fuck yeah, there's another lunchbox. I'm not looking for Rice Krispie treats, I'm looking for upgrades. We're all together in this, hero. Have a heroic day. 2 manuscript fragments. There was a hell of a lot more than 2. There was like 6 there. Brutal. It's okay, though. Now we have 8, and if I remember correctly, we need at least a total of 12, minimum. So, I'm assuming L is going to be aim, L2 is going to be aim, and R2 is going to be fire. At least I think so.
Tripod. Tracks leading to a dead end.
A tripod.
Oh, we're going back up the way that we came to get down. I see.
Maybe. And why take
I don't know. If it was a snuff film, I think they could have done a lot better than that guy. He was balding, and he was very, very hairy. Okay. Right, let's be careful here. Because I'm pretty sure they're going to introduce combat soon. Wait, what is this? We never came across this before. Oh, there's a lot of stuff here. The rarest wildlife in the Pacific Northwest. Okay. I finally made my way to Cauldron Lake. The fence was easy to climb over with the proper gear and skills, which I thankfully possess. Next goal, spotting the rare and elusive orange-crowned warbler. A little late in the season, but hopefully I can catch it before it begins its journey south. I've noticed intriguing behavior in the surrounding common bird life. They seem to be alarmed and swarm around the lake. No birds of prey nearby. There's some strange sounds carried on the wind, however. Nothing I can recognize or explain. Getting a little concerned. Might have to find another spot somewhere safer. Okay. What about this one? Moved inland. Foliage is stunning. I share similar sentiments. Must come back in fall. Just had to stop and sketch this gorgeous vine maple. Just at the way this... I'm not even gonna try to fucking pronounce that word. Beard hangs off it. This is why trees are better than people. Speaking of people, saw some drunk guys staggering around the forest earlier, acting weird. Maybe drugs? Kept my distance. Should probably find another spot. So annoying. After I saw that weirdo guy, I decided to change spots again. Moved up the mountain a bit. Found a fantastic overlook to camp at, but I'm more interested in this Alaska onion grass. Invasive but edible and surprisingly tasty. Started hearing wolves or wild dogs or something like 10 minutes ago, but they sound wrong. Rabies? Want to leave, but the sun is going down and my stupid phone is dead. Gonna hide in the tent and hope they go away. Something is really not right about this place. So, at first I was initially thinking that this might have been the guy that was accompanying the girl that saw Nightingale rise out of the lake, but I don't think that's it.
Casey.
I think there's
What's
just
the
different
false
accounts of
favorite
people
shape?
witnessing
Please,
Nightingale
Anderson,
being here.
Just one case without the
A triangle.
I don't get it.
Yes, you do.
Okay, so there's a cop car up here. Are these our cars, though?
Here we
Because
are.
we're FBI, aren't we?
Let's drive back to town and meet the sheriff.
Hold on,
at the
let's
diner.
not drive back to town just yet. I think there's another pathway up here that I could
I want
explore,
to look
that I
around
want
for a
to...
minute.
Yeah, that I want to explore for sure before we continue on. Just in case there happens to be another astray lunchbox. Doesn't look like there is, though, so I think we're safe to proceed. So let's do that. Anything else around here that I can grab real quick? No, okay, this has got to be the drive out. I don't think they'd be putting anything in that big of an area. So what's over here before we continue on? There's a light coming from over here. Oh, this is where we met Detective Dickface, that's right. The guy that dies first in every horror movie. He's over here, okay. He's the trash character that they just get rid of for an extra kill. Okay. Let's pack up. Yeah, this seems like an FBI car. Something very inconspicuous.